Oh, we've got a good one today. We're going to point it all out.
Whoa!
So, just one day away from the release of Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Yes, we're talking about this again. Not necessarily the game. We're actually talking about things like Sweet Baby Inc. We're talking about all kinds of other stuff, but there's some humor to be found. And so let's get into it. A former games journalist attempts to gaslight gamers about DEI consultants. I don't know if that person was what are they going with here? But Emma Kent, a former games journalist at Eurogamer who now freelances as a mock reviewer for video game developers, attempted to gaslight gamers on what DI consultants are doing. Now, just so the audience knows, what is a mock reviewer versus a games journalist? Let's go into this. This article from gamesindustry.biz, mock reviews and game evaluations. What are they and why are they useful for devs? Can you guess who wrote this article? Can you guess? Can you guess? Oh my gosh, published by Emma Kent. I freaking love it. So basically, what she goes on to say during this is that they're mock reviewers are under heavy NDA, whereas games journalists are out in the public. So the fact that she doesn't do it in the public eye anymore and now just freelances her work to do it behind the scenes where she can escape criticism, that that, that that makes her more professional, I guess. I guess that means that her words have more gravitas towards them. That's literally exactly what a mock reviewer is. It's during the process and it's stuff that she can't talk about in public. Therefore, she is not beholden to any criticism over the things that she says. So now that you have a little backstory on this little lady, in a thread on X, she wrote, "Hello, game consultant here." Game consultant? I thought you said you were a mock reviewer. Now, do you want the backlash or do you not? Are you okay? Or are you going to cry if someone disagrees with you? The idea that consultants are forcing diversity into games is ridiculous because 99% of the time, the devs have already decided they want their game to be inclusive. Basically, they want fine tuning and letting it be more inclusive. We know we want to be gay. How can we be a more polished gay? We know we want to inject these things. How can we inject more? Is basically what you're saying. I don't think you understand the context with which you are speaking on these things. And that's obviously the reason why the fans are not showing up for the games, much less all the other things, such as art direction, such as gameplay style, combat modes, all kinds of other things. Don't worry, I want my top scars right underneath these little bad boys, my little milk duds. In a subsequent post, she continued, the people peddling this conspiracy theory are fabricating rage bait content to grow their YouTube channels and social media followings. Peddling a conspiracy theory is one of those things somebody cut to it from The Princess Bride. You keep saying these words, you keep saying these buzzwords, you don't know what they actually mean. When it's quantifiable, when it is proven time and time again, it is no longer a conspiracy theory. No, now it's just you trying to backpedal. Fabricating rage bait. Let the customer decide. We're mad about this stuff that we have loved for so long, and you're freaking changing it all and injecting all this crap that we didn't want. We didn't ask for, we didn't want. But I guess mock reviewers like you have. And you're kind of, I mean, you're doing exactly this is why games journalists shout out Nerd Wars. Erwin's my boy. He's one of the most prolific games journalists I've ever met. All said tongue in cheek. But he doesn't even want to be associated. Nobody wants to be associated with games journalists anymore because they're all a bunch of shills. And you're doing the exact same thing. You're just like, yeah, I don't want that title. I'll just do the same thing under an NDA. Good for you, Emma. I'm so proud of you. Maybe next time you'll learn how to hit your roots. She added, the fact that this has been brought up again in reference to Veilguard is particularly laughable. Have the people throwing these forced DEI allegations around ever actually played a BioWare game? Bitch, you're going to have to listen to our content. We've played them more than you. We've replayed them. We've completionisted them more times than you've ever seen the freaking cover of the game that is still in shrink wrap. There's a reason why the fandom is so fucking passionate about this stuff and why we are so passionate on calling out whenever you change the very core of the stuff, the lore, when you're taking things out of the lore, when you're changing the foundation of the stories and the characters and the world that we love. We invested our time, we invested our memories in, and now it's forced DEI. Tell me about forced DEI, Emma Kent. When the first Kunari companion that you meet, and has been touted, so it's not a conspiracy theory. The creators themselves have touted, they're like, it's a non-binary. Oh, and now we have gameplay where the dialogue not only doesn't fit with Thetis, not in one bit whatsoever, not in that world. It's all modern day writing. It's modern day speech, modern day conversation. And they have to tell you, well, I had a talk with my parents about my pronouns. And so now I go by different pronouns. You think they didn't even have air conditioner back then? They didn't have fucking running water. You think they were worried about pronouns? You first world Emma cunt? I'll say it. I don't give a shit. So that's basically what someone who is already hiding from the job title is trying to say to gamers and people who comment on the gaming atmosphere on YouTube. You know the people who kind of do this for a living. I'm not one of them. However, I am in the sphere of media. She won't even do it in public anymore. She calls herself a mock reviewer, which means she has to be under NDAs, which means also that she is free of the flack until she opens her big fat mouth and goes out on Twitter and says this stuff, which is easily proved false. I would love to hear from her. I know I called her Emma Cunt, but I call him like I see him. I would actually have a conversation with you and I would delve deeper into all of this stuff and be completely respectable, but we have to do it without an NDA. I'm right here. My DMs are open. Until next time, guys, what do you think about this? We all know Sweet Baby Inc. And that is not the only one. That's just the one that's gotten the most not the most content, but the most spotlight recently because they keep putting their foot in their mouth too, just like the same way this Emma Kent girl is putting her foot in her mouth. They can't stop because they know the truth and that they are forcing this stuff in there, in your games, in your favorite franchises. They're literally trying to modernize stuff that is supposed to be fictional old world fantasy. If you're okay with that, I mean, good. You're going down with the ship because BioWare is on its way out. It ain't going to make the money. Overall, it has to be a business at the end of the day. And the business only thrives when the customers are satisfied with the product. Basics. I don't understand what's so difficult about that. Until next time, until tonight, Late and Gay with the GCA, our live stream on Wednesdays. We will see you at 8:30 Eastern. This is Malty. Melanie Max got some words for you. Y'all take care and good day.